Hey everybody, it's Turkey Wolf. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right down to it. This review is gonna be about Avengers: Age of Ultron. Now, I have spent a long time, practically a whole month, waiting to do this, and the reason why is because I wanted to let the movie sink in, and I wanted to go back, rewatch all the other movies leading up to Age of Ultron, and really delve into what the movie is and everything. So, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know who hasn't at this point, but anyway, if you haven't seen the movie, number one, go see it because it's amazing, and number two, uh, spoilers. But anyway, first things first, going into this movie, it has high expectations. I mean, the Avengers 1 was friggin' amazing, okay? No bones about it. One of the best comic book movies for sure out there. I think when the first one came out, I said that this movie is on par. Like, there's two comic movies that really set the bar for comic book movies, and for Marvel, it's definitely the Avengers. For DC, it's the Dark Knight. Um, and that's tall order. That's tall order. When your movie smashed everything last time it went out, and now you have a sequel. The sequel's got a lot of shit that it's got to do. Um, and I'm gonna start this by why don't we start with the plot? Okay, like I said, spoilers. So yeah, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. Well, first off, the Avengers, they're going to wipe out a Hydra base that's run by Baron von Strucker. That's where they also meet Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. After they take that out, they find Loki's scepter. Stark takes it and gets this vision from Scarlet Witch that he needs to do something to save the world. Otherwise, because he does nothing or whatever. He's going to end up killing everybody on the planet. That's what she puts in his head. So he decides to take Loki's scepter. He sees all of the Ultron bots, or like the early versions of what the AI was trying to do, or what Hydra was trying to do. I'm pretty sure it was Hydra that was trying to put together and trying to figure out what the hell the AI was. But regardless, they take it and they take everything. Except they take the staff. Sorry, they take Loki's scepter. They take a couple of things. They take Strucker. They catch Strucker, and they bring everything back to Avengers Tower. Well, as they're doing this, Stark talks to Banner, and he talks Banner into setting up the AI that he figured out was there. And since they're going to party down in 3 days, they have 3 days to kind of make this work and set up Ultron because he wants a suit of armor around the world, like it said in the trailers. Well, obviously shit ensues. Ultron is like the ultimate AI in the sense of he knows what the hell is going on and he fights back. Kills out thinks he kills out Jarvis, and gets into one of the Iron Legion suits and wreaks havoc. So at that point, everything is okay. It's good action. It's good storytelling. I am a hardcore comic nerd, and the one thing that bothers me just about that setup is now everybody thinks that Ultron was made by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, and in the comics it was not. It was made by Hank Pym, Ant-Man, which, by the way, Ant-Man is coming out in like 1 month. God, please, people, go see that movie. That movie looks like it's going to be awesome. Ant-Man needs love. He's an original Avenger. The original Avengers were Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, and Wasp. There was no Captain America. There was no Black Widow, no Hawkeye. Okay, it was those guys. So please give Ant-Man love. Okay? And for the record, Captain America is my favorite Avenger, but I'm just saying, Ant-Man needs love. getting back on point though, Hank Pym is actually the one who creates the Ultron AI. So it was kind of hinted at, it was kind of not, but now because of this, everybody's like, "Oh, Tony Stark created Ultron." That's not the truth. Um, but anyway, so then after Ultron wreaks havoc, they're trying to figure out what the hell he wants. You know, everybody's fighting with everybody. They end up coming across the fact that he needs vibranium he wants vibranium to make a brand new body, a much more indestructible body. So what he does is they find out that the best person who has vibranium is this guy named Ulysses Claw, which is a really, really big drop for Black Panther, because Ulysses Claw is actually Black Panther's archenemy. They meet him. They get the vibranium from him. Ultron, in the process, cuts off his arm. That's obviously a precursor to the fact that he's now going to, in the Black Panther movie, is going to have a big, giant, badass claw that's going to be there. And then, they fight. Hulkbuster gets broken out after Scarlet Witch does her little mind trick thing to Hulk, which I think is pretty funny. If you guys don't know about this, there's actually an Easter egg in there. Hulk's original love interest was named Betty, and they call Hulkbuster Veronica. Betty and Veronica, it's like a jab at Archie comics. And there's a subplot about everybody's, I'm sure, already been talking about this. There's a subplot about Black Widow and Hulk, about how they're in love with each other. I'm not very fond of that, but I don't mind it too much. Again, I don't want to say purist, but I'm very, very big on keeping things closer to the comics. So for me, the two love interests that Black Widow has, or that always has, even though she kind of bounces from guy to guy, would be either Captain America or Winter Soldier. Personally, I'd rather have her go with Winter Soldier. That's just me, but at this point, Bucky's still kind of in the wind. So that is what it is. But anyway, then you have I forgot where I was. Oh, I remember now. So after this whole thing, they go back to Hawkeye's family's house, which nobody at this point knows that Hawkeye has a family. And then Nick Fury shows up, is talking to Stark about all the crap that happened, talking to all the Avengers. It's kind of cool seeing, actually, in my opinion, because then they're all just sitting around. It's more character development. They feel more like a family, kind of. Hawkeye, by the way, I feel like Hawkeye's the MVP of that movie. I really do, man. He took everybody on and everything. At that point, by the way, also, Thor goes off and finds Eric Selvig, jumps into a pool that's supposed to, help him see his vision. Scarlet Witch gives everybody a vision of their past and what they're most afraid of and all this kind of shit. And Thor's really hits close to home, so he has to go back into this pool, which lets him see it again, and then he decides that he wants to go back off to Asgard eventually, after this whole Ultron thing is done. So he comes back. They all find Ultron. He's trying to create a bioorganic cyborg, a bioorganic android, so that he could put his consciousness in that, and then he'll be like unstoppable. It's the whole theory of like he's evolving. Well, in the process of that, and I'm sorry this is taking so long, but this movie has a lot of stuff in it. In the process of that, he creates the Vision. They get a hold of the it's like a tomb, kind of. They call it a chamber, but it friggin' looks like a tomb. The Avengers get a hold of it, they recalibrate it, and it becomes the Vision. In the process of doing this, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver figure out that Ultron's a psycho, and they decide to join the Avengers, or at least side with them for the time being. Vision comes out, and he's really cool. He's really cool. A lot of people are saying he was really boring. I didn't think so. I thought he was pretty badass, but that was just me. And then after this, they find out what Ultron wants to do, he wants to basically lift up the area of Sokovia, a little town, and he's going to lift it up into the air, get it as high as he can, and he's going to drop it like a meteor and blow up the planet, basically. The whole point of this is that he's supposed to find peace, and it's supposed to be like a series, like an evolution type thing, wiping out everybody so that when they rebuild, they become stronger. That's supposedly what it is, but then he starts to get really, really, really psycho, and then just decides, fuck it, everybody's gonna die, and the rest of the world is just gonna be me. So the Avengers end up stopping it. They end up destroying Ultron, and basically the big Avengers like Iron Man, besides Captain America, because Captain America is the leader of the Avengers, but besides with Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor, basically those three are out of the Avengers at this point. Iron Man's off doing his own thing. Thor's going back to Asgard, and Hulk is just MIA. So they bring in new guys to be the Avengers. The team consists of... and it's kind of referenced that Hawkeye is kind of out of it too. But it's Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and Vision now are the Avengers. Which is cool. It's a cool team. To me, Scarlet Witch is sort of like the end-all, be-all, fuck your shit up kind of character. So that's pretty awesome. Now, plot-wise, it's very jumbled. I won't lie. It is. It does have a lot of stuff going on, but you know what? In my opinion, it focuses it. Where it starts out kind of jumbly, and there's some parts where it kind of trips over. Like I said, I'm not really big on the Black Widow Hulk love interest thing. I'm assuming that's going to be dropped after that movie, though, because of the fact that since we actually, in Captain America Civil War, they're bringing back Thunderbolt Ross, which I thought was really, really, really cool. I'm assuming that they're going to have, more references to Incredible Hulk and all that kind of shit. So that's just me. So plot-wise, like I said, I'd probably give it a C. No, change it. That's low. I'd give it a B. I actually like the story in this better than I like it. I changed my mind. I like it on par with the last Avengers movie. It's on par. It's got more stuff to it. It's got meatier stuff to it. But at the end of the day, to me, it didn't feel like it exceeded what the last Avengers movie did. Just because it has more stuff doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be better. But now let's talk about the characters. The immediate cast: Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk. Those four, awesome. There's no way that they're going to ever be any better. Black Widow and Hawkeye. Hawkeye, like I said, MVP of the movie. Black Widow was really, really, really cool. She did a great job, but personally, I liked her better in Captain America Winter Soldier. I thought she did way more. I thought she was a lot cooler in that one. This one, she just sort of seemed like... she still seemed badass, but she had, like I said, that love interest thing really bothered me. It just seemed like it wasn't necessary, in my opinion. But... like I said, that's nitpicky to me because I'm still going to watch that movie when it comes out on DVD. I'm still going to watch it like 10,000 more times because I love all these movies. Vision, awesome. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Spoiler alert, Quicksilver does get killed in the end, which is kind of a bummer because he's really cool. But I forget who said this to me. But in case Fox and Marvel ever have do what Fox and what Marvel and Sony are doing, if they ever come to an agreement, they have a Quicksilver, we have a Scarlet Witch, we don't have a Quicksilver anymore. Blah, 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 blah. That's supposed to be or at least that's the theory. I doubt if that's actually ever going to happen, just because Fox super jackasses about their Marvel properties. And, the whole thing of Spider-Man was supposed to be in this movie. He wasn't. I know he wasn't. Spider-Man is going to be in Civil War, I believe, but he's not. He was not supposed to be in this movie. So anybody going in that movie looking for Spider-Man, he's not there. Um, what else? Oh, War Machine's in it. War Machine's really cool. He actually has a really badass moment in the movie towards the end. Um, yeah, you know, we get a helicarrier comes in again. I'm kind of sad that Coulson doesn't make an appearance. I know he's in Agents of Shield. I watch everything Marvel Cinematic Universe. I watch all the movies. I watch Agents of Shield. I watch Agent Carter, Daredevil, everything. Jessica Jones is going to come out. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders. All those shows are going to come out. I'm going to watch those. Next season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., gonna watch that. Second season of Agent Carter, gonna watch that. Anything they make, I'm gonna watch, just because it's Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's awesome. But I was kind of sad that Coulson wasn't in that movie. Just because he's gonna come back eventually, I'm sure, to the movie universe, or at least even just a cameo. But it's depressing that he didn't make an appearance again. I'm assuming once S.H.I.E.L.D. gets really up and running again and gains the trust back of everybody, that's what's going to end up happening, is they're going to see, holy crap, Coulson's alive again. I just really hope that he comes back before Infinity War starts, personally. That's just me. But I got off track there. Casting-wise, I mean, there's nothing to say. The cast is fantastic. Always has been, always will be. That's all there is to it. So, cast A. Always an A. Effects and action. I always like to do these two together. The effects, again, as a Marvel movie, it's like, I don't even feel like I need to say anything, because it's just like, it's a Marvel movie. The action and the effects have to be good. They have to be, because if they're crap, then it's BS. You know, it's absolute bullshit. You cannot do anything with it then. But you know, that's what it is. I mean, it's fantastic special effects, just like always. So I don't even need to say anything about it, because it's an A. It's always an A. Now, a lot of people also have been saying, you know, I know people have been bitching and complaining about this movie with a couple different things. Number one, I've heard too many one-liners. Fuck your shit, because this movie has had less one-liners and much more actual dialogue, and good dialogue too, not bullshit dialogue. And number two, people are saying, oh, Ultron isn't that intimidating. Look, I like Loki, don't get me wrong, but I was not going to sit through another fucking pretty boy villain. Okay? I love Loki. Love Tom Hiddleston. Hope he's in tons and tons of movies with the Marvel Universe. But we can't have every villain be Loki. Okay? Ultron was fucking terrifying at some points. Yeah, there were some points where he was funny and he was kind of silly, but you kind of have to have that in Marvel movie. The only one who I won't believe will be like that is two villains. I don't believe that Thanos is going to be like that, and when they eventually get around to with Doctor Strange, Dormammu is not going to be like that. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of villains that can be, you know, goofy, and a lot of villains that can be fuck your shit up. But, you know, Ultron, to me, the parts where he needed to be freaky as hell, he was freaky as hell. Like at the very beginning, when he was in the decrepit Iron Legion suit, that was fucked up. When he was in the Shroud and he was showing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch around, he had that, his voice, James Spader did a great job. So to me, Ultron is a step up over Loki, because we had a villain who upped the ante, did crazier shit. You know, wasn't just there just to bring an army down and that was it. every single one of those Ultron bots was Ultron. So rather than, I'm here, army, go, it's, I'm here, I'm also all over there too. Okay? So for me, Ultron was a step up. Where does this movie land in the grand scheme of all of the Marvel movies? Everybody's just like, oh, at the beginning, everybody's like, oh, this movie's bullshit and blah, 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 blah. I don't think so. I think, um, to me, this movie is probably in the top 5, maybe top 4. Um, and see, for me, though, the top 3 movies at this point, I only had 2, 3. The top 3 movies at this point right now, Avengers is number 1. To me, Winter Soldier is number 2. Guardians of the Galaxy is number 3. And Age of Ultron is probably number 4. And then probably after that would probably be the original Iron Man movie. Even though personally, it's not one of my... Iron Man's probably not one of my favorites. I know everybody's like, oh my god, that's blasphemy. Iron Man 1 is amazing. And it is. It is. But I'm one of those weird people who actually likes Iron Man 2 more than Iron Man 1. Just simply because of the fact that I hate Ironmonger as a villain. And I loved Whiplash. Whiplash to me was much more impressive of a villain than Ironmonger was. But as my best friend always says, because he's a hardcore Iron Man fan, he always says, Iron Man villains, pretty much suck when they're not the Mandarin. Which I'm not even going to talk about Iron Man 3, so nobody asked me any questions about that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Overall, cast A, plot B, and effects A. This movie's an A. This movie is truly an A, and people should really give it a shot. And I've got like 2 minutes left, and I'm just going to say this. The next few movies that are going to be coming up in this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, we have Ant-Man. Please go see that movie, okay? Please support Ant-Man. The next one after that, Captain America Civil War. That's going to be an amazing movie. Just because, again, the cast is unbelievable for that movie. And then after that's Doctor Strange, okay? And for those of you guys who don't know who Doctor Strange is, Sorcerer Supreme, he's going to be played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Doctor Strange uses magic, uses a lot of dimension hopping stuff, fights a lot, and I mean a lot of like demonic and magical stuff, breaks into like Ghost Rider's area a bit. It's a cool series, and like I said, Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in it. What's his name? Chiwetel. I can never remember his name, but he was the villain in the movie Serenity. He is rumored to be playing Baron Mordo, I believe. The secondary villain, one of the arch enemies of Doctor Strange. I shouldn't say secondary villain, but one of the arch enemies of Doctor Strange is Baron Mordo. He's supposedly going to be playing Baron Mordo. Nobody has said anything about if Dormammu is going to be in that movie yet or not. But yeah, that movie, it's probably going to be awesome too. Benedict Cumberbatch has been in a friggin', run for the past like 3 years or so. Just like kicking ass and taking names on his stuff. I love his work. I love Sherlock. I'm a big fan of Cumber Khan. I know everybody says, oh, he's not as good as Ricardo Montalban in Star Trek for Khan, by the way, if you guys don't get what the hell I'm talking about. I loved him as Khan. I thought he was actually better than Ricardo Montalban. I know that's, again, blasphemy to say, but to me, Ricardo Montalban just seemed too silly. And Benedict Cumberbatch, for me, it's always about who do I feel like is going to kill me. Okay? It's the same argument I use with Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. Jack Nicholson seems really silly and just seems like he's going to pussyfoot around too much. Heath Ledger always felt like, I will crack jokes, but you are going to be scared shitless the whole time I'm going to be doing it for the Joker. It's the same thing with Khan for Star Trek. Ricardo Montalban, I'm gonna look at you and stare at you. I never felt, scared. I felt like he's trying to seduce me. And Benedict Cumberbatch, man, I felt terrified. I was like, dude, fuck it, I'm done. Bye. So, but anyway, that's enough of that. Ant-Man, go see. Um, Captain America: Civil War, go see. Doctor Strange, go see. And if you haven't seen Age of Ultron yet, seriously, great movie. Go see it. All right, Turkey Wolf, peace.